Hey, look, it's me again. Boom. I knew it didn't matter. Yeah. Hello. Welcome back to the Awakened Dynasty. No, not Awakened Dynasty. Fucking hell, I'm tired. The Command Protocols podcast. We're going to be talking about Awakened Dynasty. And I don't know what episode we're on. I think it's 9 now. So we've made it this far. 9-ish weeks in.
9
We've definitely done 8. So it's 9 or 10.
Production
This
can't improve.
episode... No, it never will. It never will. We're talking about... Well, I've skipped right ahead. My name's Matt, if you didn't know. And if you didn't know by now. And this is my co-host, Pick Nose Andy. And I have spelled it Picasso Andy, but I just wanted to say that. And today, we're going to be talking about some Necron stuff yet again. What a surprise. Yes, we've got lists. Oh, we've got my list. We've got the RTTs that we went to in the last 7 days.
With his list.
We've got my list again.
Yeah.
And we've got the GT coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
And we've got pairings now. So we'll talk about the GT, probably prep for round 1 or whatever, so on and so forth.
And the data slate. We've just had a data slate.
And the data slate. Yeah, well, I would forget that easily because it was such a minor change.
Hey, it's a massive change. Let's not beat around the bush.
It could have been a massive change if it was like actually impactful.
I mean, how much of a change does it have to be when it impacts every single list? That means a big change, right?
It's probably deserved then. Probably deserved. If it impacts every list, it's probably deserved.
Or maybe it just tells us about the internal balance of our codex.
Yeah. Why did stuff not go down 5 points here and there?
Because
why happened to my 5-point adjust?
Everyone would complain if it did. Like, why are they getting 5-point changes if we don't? Yeah. We've had no changes for 3 data slates and they get a 5-point reduction on something. Okay.
Plasmats go down 5 points.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll just jump straight into the lists.
Yeah.
Straight into the list this weekend. We didn't
have any GT winning Necron lists, unfortunately, this week.
Yeah, as per damn usual. Nobody seems to be able to fucking get the job done. And I can't do it, so...
Well, this weekend coming...
Maybe it'll all change this weekend. I just have to, beat some very good players. So here we go. We're locked in. Straight in. It always does that. Okay.
It always does that.
It does always do that. So, this is the first list. Let me change my tabs. What's in the list? It went 5-1. Lost to Tyranids last round. Unlucky. He's awakened because everybody's jumping on the awakened train now. I was not the first. I'm not a trendsetter. I just saw it and I thought it was cool. He's taking the Nightbringer, which Andy says he really likes, but I think I really don't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Zeraz Imatech, because we are CP hungry. 2 Scorpeth Lords. Needs that. He probably doesn't have the third one because that kit comes as the 50-odd quid set.
Nobody buys it.
Yeah. Technomancer with the stealth, so he's gone the Wraith build.
Yeah.
There they are. There are those Wraiths. 2 DDAs. Oh, they have gone up 20. This list's unplayable, guys. Or we can drop that heavy to a normal destroyer.
That's the classic Necron nerf move. I've done that twice in 2 different...
Yeah. What an easy change that is.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, I've pretty much taken my single destroyer out of my list. That's what he's
Double
Ophidian, though.
This list wants a 3rd Lord instead of Ophidian destroyers.
Yeah, get them in the bin.
That's what it wants. So he's basically traded the Warrior Brick and the Omnitics for Nightbringer and the Wraith.
But you just need the Omnitics in the mirror. Like, you cannot win the mirror.
But how often you're not going to play in the mirror very often.
It's not just like the mirror. It's not just like the mirror, but anything with a 20-man brick of warrior of anything, which is quite common. Nass is playing 20 Kriegsmen.
Yeah.
Like, there are people that are like Gene Stealer bricks, stuff that kills us, light infantry, Eldar.
It's
just good. I can't not take it. I was like, I might drop it and put in a DD8. No. I'm never going to drop it.
It's the best unit. It's the best unit in Star Shatter for me. And that also translates into other lists. And I've noticed, doing the maths, that you don't even need the full rerolls that you kind of expected that you wanted. So you can put it in any detachment, basically. It likes silent king rerolls, but
it's just good. It's just good. So yeah, I mean, he did all right. I'm going to quickly see what the NID list was that he lost into.
No, he
he won into the NIDs. He lost into Gene Stealers. Never mind.
Final day.
Final day. Oh, that beats every good Necron player I've heard. So.
Let's not talk about that. We've already. I literally said that 5 minutes ago before we started. Let's not talk about
that. Yes, but well done to this fella for going. He did the Liam Bath. I feel like Liam Bath is on a Discord that I am a part of, but I could be incorrect. But well done to you, Liam, for playing the Awakened Boys.
Quite a few 5-1s as well, to be honest.
5-1s. At that tournament,
4 Orc players went 5-1.
Orcs balanced, guys.
2 GSC, Eldari and Grey Knights, and GSC won it. So I think the player he lost to was...
Yeah, and also this build, the Wraiths, right? The Wraiths will just die to the new Orc build. At least Warriors have a chance of... They have a chance of surviving the Looters, and then, if you place your Warriors correctly, the Looters will not be able to... And second squad of Looters will not be able to shoot those Warriors. So, you at least don't get... Like, the Wraiths will just get one shot. The Wraiths will just die. Or maybe not one shot, but for a 100-point unit, they will kill a lot of that. Richard was telling me that apparently 100 points of Looters kills 400 points of Knobs in one activation. How crazy is that? That's just absolutely wild. In that new detachment.
We're
not the Orc detachment channel. We're the Necron channel, and we're going to move on to the next Necron list.
We're currently the Awakened Dynasty channel.
We're the Awakened Dynasty channel with Andy playing that teleported one that people used to play sometimes. So, yes, I used to enjoy that. So we've got another Awakened Dynasty list. Wow.
Yeah.
Very good.
This one's my friend Josh's from America.
Yeah, Josh, number two.
Number
20 something now. I don't know. I can't even see him. He's that far down. He picked Immortals and said it was serious, so I don't know what was going on.
But he's changed now.
It's all in jest, by the way, Josh. It's all in jest. He's gone the triple. He's gone my build with an extra DDA and some thralls.
Instead of the Arc. Instead of the Omnitics.
Yeah,
and he's also
instead of the Omnitics.
Royal Warning and Imhotech instead of the Overlord and the Hexmark.
So, this is basically in the mirror. Like, you will struggle if I played this list, I'd win. I'm pretty confident.
Well, he's got the Crypto Thrall, so his Warriors are better than yours, for a start.
Yeah, but mine will kill the Warriors, and he will never kill my Warriors. So that is
I'm not convinced that the Omnitics kill the Warriors.
They do certainly a good job. Pretty close. It's pretty close.
They'll give it a damn good try, but they'll get an average. You're hitting on 3s.
They might not kill the Warriors, but they can do a good job. They do
on 3s, rerolling 1s. Or if you go for reroll all hits, you're talking like 46 hits ish. And then you'll drop.
Rerolling all hits, it's 54.
No. It's 52 when you're hitting on 2s. But when you're hitting on 3s, it's less because you're going to drop more when you do rerolls. So it's about 46, and then you're winning on 3s, rerolling 1s.
But they'll probably be saving on 3s, to be fair, because they'll have the AOC from Zeraz.
Exactly. So
it's not guaranteed for sure.
Especially if he's got the cryptos, then they're more likely to survive. I mean, he's not going to kill yours as well. Because the DDAs
can I clear him?
Don't have enough DACA in one activation, and you're going to have enough reanimation to stop it. But then
for sure,
it'll just be a case of the Warriors just getting jiggy in the center, and you're trying to play a lot aside on the flanks, basically clear enough away from the flanks. But he does have the OC advantage on you because those Doomsday Arcs will one-shot your destroyers, which isn't going to help. And then you're going to have a score peck off each.
That is true.
Because you've both got the same amount of score pecks. But he can also fall back and shoot with his warriors and charge.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
So his warriors will get into yours. You'll do fuck all. He'll fall back, shoot you, charge you. And then eventually I think he'll win the attrition. But at the same time, it's who knows? It's a dice rolling game, but
Who
I
knows?
I played this list before he went to his GT. I practiced it for him against my friend playing Iron Store. No, Ultramarines, the Librarius Conclave list, and I quite liked it. The CP from Imhotep was really nice, but I did kind of miss the Overlord. The Resorb was good, and the auto advance is certainly nothing to ignore. But like he could never do anything to the Warriors. The one turn that he basically walked everything out, put his entire army into the Warriors. He just about killed them, but then I just tabled him because everything was just stood out in the open because he put so much effort into killing the Warriors that he didn't do any other damage.
Which is
So
why they're so good, because they just force your opponent
yeah,
to overcommit.
and if they just don't quite overcommit and they just undercommit by a small amount, it just wastes their entire turn. And he also rolled really, really well to do that too. It was almost like you shouldn't do this, mate, but he tried it and it succeeded, but then he just died. So it's a nice list. It doesn't quite have as many mission pieces as yours because obviously the cryptos go into the Warriors, and the DDAs, and you can like with your list, you can in the wrong matchup, you don't even have to equip the Locust Lord with the Amnitics, and you can just use him as a Veil of Darkness guy by himself because he'll fit in easier to do secondaries. But yeah, and he lost to Blood Angels, which is I spoke to him about that. He was just like he made a few micro mistakes that allowed him to do a few things that he shouldn't have done. Otherwise, he should have won that game, I think, as well. So nearly 5-0, but not quite.
Not quite.
Next time, Josh. Next time.
All right. Next one is this one. Sean Mitchell.
Oh, another Awakened Dynasty list.
Oh, everyone's playing Awakened. Everyone's got the Nightbringer. This guy's got a Locust Lord, but he's got Field of Pain, which makes sense.
What? Wow. Okay. So he's got the 5 Field of Pain instead of the Resolve, but he's still running Amnitics. That's a choice, I guess.
Yeah, he just wants Field of Pain. I mean, he probably thinks that he just activates that puts the unit down, they activate, and then they die. That's probably what his thought is. I mean, I still run the Resorb because I like the Resorb. I like bringing models back.
Yeah, I love it. It came in clutch in one of my games at the RTT, which we can talk about later.
But yeah, he's got Race, and then it's just a very similar list, but only two Scorpeth Lords again.
Yeah.
I just can't drop that third Lord. I just can't do it, man.
They're so good.
I just love them. Like, they're so good. The feeling that they're the mortal wound, the 3 damage, and I always like if I'm not playing against a lot of vehicles, I'll just attach the Locust Lord. The Scorpeth Lords. I'll just attach them.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just attach one.
I just like having them running around sometimes. Just so the main reason that I get rid of them is because if your opponent has something that will just kill the whole unit and the Lord dead in one activation, then at least it kind of just splits up their attacks. And it's like, you have to activate. And he's toughness 7, so in some matchups like GSC, like the toughness 7 is a big break point.
Yeah, and also if they split attacks when they charge both units because they're still matched up, stood together, then they might misallocate the attacks either way and underkill both, or massively overkill one and not kill the other. So,
for sure.
Yeah, because I do it as well.
And he lost to CSM, and if it's Bile, it's pretty hard matchup. It's Packbound Zealots. I don't even know what that does. Is that the base detachment? That is quite a difficult matchup.
It's all attacks, but is it though? It's got a lot of possessed.
It's got a lot of DACA. Like, it does. Because he's running Wraiths, you got to remember.
This guy's running Blue Horrors with his CSM.
You got to remember he's running Wraiths, so like they'll just kill the Wraiths. Like, a Vindicator could just kill over half, and if he doesn't hide enough, then he just dies.
Yeah, especially with Oath, not Oath.
The reason I don't like the Wraiths that much is because you don't heal as much. Like from the, you're only getting one use of the strat, and sometimes you could just lowball it and res fucking 2 wounds.
Yeah.
Or 3 wounds if you've got a reanimator still by, and then it's like, right, it's not even a Wraith. You don't even get a Wraith back. Whereas Warriors, you've got like the 2 lots of the rares with the rerolls. And WTC, for anyone that's not aware, WTC for some reason has ruled that the extra D3 from the reanimator is a modifier, so you can't reroll it with the warrior's ability to reroll, which I just do not understand.
I don't understand that either. I'm so glad I'm not going to WTC.
Apparently, there's arguments to and for it that people have made, but the tournaments, the UKTC, I don't fucking know. I don't know what it is, but apparently, because it's like the extra D3 that the reanimator does is like post roll. Like the initial roll is like the reanimate, and then the modifier is the D3 extra to that roll. So it's like you don't re-roll a modifier. I don't fucking know how it works, but it's some very niche, weird thing that, like, I don't like. If I play WTC, I'll play it that way, and if I'm not playing WTC, I won't play it that way until GW actually makes a ruling, and that's how that works. Because I just don't feel like it is. I feel like it is just going to jump the gun.
Even if it is a modifier, it's still a modifier to the reanimation protocols, and the rules say
that's exactly what I mean.
When your reanimation protocols activate, you can reroll a dice. You're still rolling a dice.
Yep. Yeah, it's just weird. So
I wonder what they were smoking when they came up with that rule. Probably the same as the 2-inch wall.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. So yeah, it's a bit weird, but yeah, you just reanimate more as warriors, so you have the ability to survive more. There's so much in the game that kill 6 wraiths. Like it is a tough unit to kill, but the reason that I swapped from the wraiths is because warriors are hard. There's not that much that can that had that big of an activation into you. Games can literally be decided, like win or lose. Games can be decided by your opponent's ability to kill the warriors in one activation. That's literally your opponent's ability to trap him.
You've also got, I think, you've got a lot more tricks with the reanimation because you've got 2 separate particular triggers of the reanimation, plus maybe a res orb as well to give you 3 within the same turn before you have to think about coherency issues. So you can.
So I looked that up.
What?
To interrupt you, I looked that up. So when I was explaining my reanimation tricks, like mid explanation, I had like a brainwave, and you can only reanimate next to models that were there at the start of the turn. So like you can't like reanimate one activation, put 2 models there, and then do another activation, reanimate again because they didn't start the turn there. It says when you bring back models that you have to have started the turn.
Does it say that?
Yeah. That's what they changed, so you can't string out. That's the whole not stringing out thing. You can just put like a guy that's in coherency in front, but you can't like put a guy in coherency from one animation and then do it again. It has to all. They have to have all started there at the start of the turn, or phase.
Specifically say that.
Yeah, it specifically says that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because so you can't do any. You can't do ridiculous tricks, but you can still do a little bit. You can do. It's either phase or turn, so it's one or the other. But
I'm pretty sure it's phase because then that makes a bit more sense. But
I think it's probably phase. So, but yeah, it has to have started the phase there, and either one. But you get the idea. So yeah, good job to this dude. Only losing to Chaos Patience, which again is a tough matchup because of the guns into the race is always tough. And when you've only got 2 DDAs that can actually do any damage to their tanks, like a Nightbringer, cool. They will literally just shove the tanks in your face, like the cheap ones first, like the Predators or whatever it is, and they'll just shove them down in your face and be like, "Yep, you can't kill me. Oh, I'm just popping smoke. You hit me on 4s." That is like the usual. So it is tough. It is a really tough one. All right, next one.
Yeah, next one is
a
Awakened.
Eric, another Awakened Dynasty list. Very good. Everybody's running Awakened. And there were other lists that did well, but they were just like the same Star Shatter list. These Awakened Dynasty lists are slightly different. And obviously, if we see everybody running Awakened Dynasty, we'll probably stop sharing as many Awakened Dynasty ones.
Yeah.
But he's got the Nightbringer, he's got the Void Dragon, he's got the Command Barge with the Feel No Pain instead.
and then the Spice.
And then triple Technomancer. Triple Wraith. That is it.
18 Wraiths, a Reanimator.
He won against Imperial Knights, like...
Well,
He probably just had the Void
hang on.
Dragon and the Nightbringer sat in it.
We have seen Imperial Knights be beaten by a Necron list 3 times in the same tournament with no AP and nothing above strength 6.
This guy's running Canis Rex, a Knight Errand,
5
4
health,
Helvrins,
5
5 Helvrins, which all get anti-fly 2 up against a Wraith army. What happened? Did you cheat or something?
No, I think what probably happened is he stuck 3 blobs of wraiths out and only exposed like 2 or 3 from each one, and the guy probably did the classic thing where he'll put an armager on each point, but then 3 wraiths take it off him because of the command barge, which would have been sat behind the
Canis
turret.
Rex would just delete a unit by himself almost.
No, he won't actually, because his shooting can be very hit or miss.
No, it's his combat.
In combat,
it's 8. Yeah, and that's what you do. Surely you just push your entire army out and be like, right.
Okay, but Canis will come out, try and kill some race. He won't kill all of them because they've still got a 4 up invul. Okay, they're going to just die to the flat 8 there. The Feel No Pains probably won't spike.
Even the Catan would probably die to Canis.
Oh, it does, but then the Nightbringer will tear him a new one.
Yeah,
the Nightbringer,
but they anti-fly 2 up. I don't understand. Yeah,
I mean,
well done for winning that game, mate. That must have been a hard game to win.
The whole army flies apart from
the
Immortals, right? Because I think the Ophidians fly. The Reanimators fly, but
the Ophidians fly. Fucking hell.
Let's just double check that one.
But yeah, Reese was right. That's all I'm going to say. Shout out to you, Reese, #1 Imperial Knight player in the world.
Yeah. Ophidians
one of one.
Don't fly. But
the #2 Imperial Knight player in the world, overwatched with Fire Index, so we know what the caliber of player they are in Imperial Knights.
I mean, I think this is actually quite a tricky list to kill if he positions his race really hard. So then the Knights player just feeds armatures and dies to 2 Catans. I mean, the race don't kill Catans, so yeah, I'm not sure. And sorry, not Catans. The race don't kill Knights, but the 2 Catans must have done a lot of work there. A lot of work. Because he's apart from Canis, though, he doesn't have any more melee, right, in that Knight's list.
Too much work.
Because it's Calvin's. But anyway,
too much for my liking.
So they're the only 4 lists that we kind of wanted to look at.
Yeah, they're the lists. And now we're going to go and...
We did see the Nightbringer 3 times. What are you doing? Why is there so much noise?
What am I doing? I just knocked my mic.
All right. There were 3 Nightbringers in those 4 lists, though. So maybe we're seeing a bit of a switch back to the Nightbringer.
Absolutely. I'm not running that data sheet. At 305 points, it's not fucking happening, mate.
Yeah, I mean, you've got people playing Shalaxi at 425.
Yeah, and Shalaxi moves 14 inches and advances and charges, right? And obviously, she isn't good now post dataslate, but she'd move 14 inches, advance and charge, and then if there was a vehicle or a character in the game, it would be gone. It would be like 6 attacks, 6 hits, 6 wounds. Oh, you failed 3 saves. That's 6d, fucking 3d6 plus 2, and I'm re-rolling it all. Good night.
So it doesn't kill a vault in one activation.
It actually does.
Doesn't.
Does it not?
No, you got to feel the pain from the spider always.
Oh, you got to feel the pain. I almost got my vault. I think my vault got left on 1 wound once when I played against that.
My vault has really good experience into Shalaxi.
I failed 3 saves, and then he did 23 damage.
Yeah. Well, the first time he went into Shalaxi, I ended up surviving 4 rounds of combat with Shalaxi and then killing it.
22 damage, so I thought 2 wounds.
That was the first time. So 4 rounds of combat, and I killed it. It survived against Shalaxi. And then the second time, it got charged, got like neutered a lot, but then it just died to the hit back. And then the third time, 3 rounds of combat finished it off, but that was only because of the Legion of Excess silly rule where you got to roll a 9 up to be able to shoot Shalaxi.
Well, we don't have to worry about Slaanesh anymore.
Although my vault did recently get 1 tapped by a carnivore, which wasn't fun.
Yeah, I remember you saying. All right, so we'll just chat about our tournaments then. I played in an RTT. I fucking took my list, fucking smashed it, mate. Came first. I'll quickly run through my games. So first round, I was against Slanesh Demons. He didn't have like the most optimal list. He had Be'lakor, Soul Grinder, Shalaxi Keeper, then 2 squads of 3 Fiends or something, or 3 squads of 3 Fiends. So really, nothing could kill the Warriors in my eyes. And he put everything behind the middle, like the middle piece of terrain, and like, oh, I'm going to stage here. So then I just advanced the Warriors in a big fat line in front of him, so he couldn't move anywhere. But I didn't draw. I drew 6 secondary cards in the first 2 turns and scored 2 points.
Yeah.
So it didn't. I couldn't get the 100, but it was a good game. Burden Trust. Fuck that mission. Second round was Chaos Knights. He was playing the new detachment, which is kind of weird. He had like loads of cultists that scout because of an enhancement and have sticky, and then he can sacrifice some of them and gain sustained or lethals. And he had this one knight with 32 shots on its Gatling with sustained and lethals because it had an enhancement.
Yeah.
And then it had a flamer, 2d6 flamer, and a missile launcher and something else. And I was like, that shit could kill the Warriors if I'm unlucky. If he sustained and lethal, but he never did. And then he like jumped over the wall with his what's it called? Fucking with his Lancer. Using its ability because he can't move through walls normally, so he had to do its ability. And he rolled a 1, and he had an advance and charge strat, so he couldn't fucking charge because he advanced.
Wait, he couldn't use the strat to move through the walls?
Yeah, because it's a new detachment, so it doesn't exist.
Oops.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. So he obviously had to use the big knight ability, and he moved through, advanced through, rolled a 1, and then just like couldn't use the strat to advance and charge it, so it just sat there, fucking 2 inches away from my model.
Yeah, but you can't kill it though. That's the problem.
Didn't need to.
Yeah, fair enough.
It can't kill me, but it was going to take the model.
Okay.
But it was just sat there chilling. And then round 3 was against Mr. Mike Porter. I'm not going to go into too many details about the game, but it was over extremely quickly. He conceded turn 2. He made 2 huge mistakes, basically, that basically lost him the game. He moved some aberrants out into the middle for no reason. Tried to kill Zeraz. Did a single wound. I heroicked with warriors and took the point back. He then brought some guys out on the left-hand side of the board. Tried to charge my Scorpeth Lord, who was 10 inches away. Failed the charge. Didn't have any CP to re-roll it. And they died as well. And then he shot in the turn. They all died. Then his turn 2 happens. He moves the only unit that he's got that can kill my warriors out into the open and goes, I'm going to shoot their 10d6 hand flamers into the warriors. So then I just took them all on my armor saves, which were 5 ups at the time, and just pulled every single model out of charge range. So then he lost the only unit that could kill the warriors.
Oops.
And I was like, yep. And then he was like, yep, I've lost. I was like, yeah, that's fair. So yeah, took the win, beat my Porter. I'll take that.
Nice.
Good time.
Yep.
Yeah, easy clap. How did your fucking RTT go?
So I took your list as well. You talked me into it, I think, a little bit. We did try and change it slightly, but we always had 15 points too much, which is obviously now 35 points too much. Oh, wait, we can drop a destroyer, but I don't think we had a destroyer.
We already had, yeah, we already did.
We already dropped that. So yeah, so my round 1 was against Inari, which oh my god, what a horrible detachment to play against that can be. they just move everywhere and everything, and basically my 2 DDAs kind of took out the sides, so I was trying to protect them with my other units, but the Dark Reapers have got infinite range. They just came down and deleted one, and then the Fire Dragons killed the other. But then after that, I just kind of killed most of his units, and then it came the Warriors. It was on taking hold with hidden supplies, so we did round 3 from UKTC for round 1, and the Warriors just sat in the center, and they were just like, "Look, you're not coming anywhere near me. You can't kill me. And anytime you actually shoot me, the warriors are coming back closer to you, and then they're just going to start gunning you down because they're actually okay into Eldari bodies. So it was. I mean, it's really hard to not make a mistake by giving away points because of the movement or shooting something and then not being able to shoot with the other things that you want to because they've disappeared. And I still made some mistakes. I still had an incarn on my home objective turn 3, trying to kill my Ghost Ark. I decided to charge back with the Warrior Blob, but it was the characters that were going backwards. And I was like, that's all right. Orican will go Super Saiyan and he will kill the Incarn because he doesn't have the Feel No Pain to stop the Death Wounds, and he's not got the half damage anymore. So I thought this would be good. He then went, well, he's wounded, so I'm going to give him fight first. I'm going to epic challenge, and he killed Orican. I'm like, for fuck's sake. So, I mean, I still killed it. I didn't lose my home objective. Nothing went disastrously wrong. I scored 15 points primary every single game, every single round. Sometimes I was holding 5 objectives at the start of my turn, and I could still only score 15 points. So
yeah, buddy.
the Warriors did their thing. My army didn't even need the Doomsday Arcs. I never even shot a Fire Prism. I just killed everything that I saw, and he didn't have a lot left. It was rough, but it was just difficult to get my head around making sure I didn't trigger things in the wrong way so that I would lose and give him free primary or something. And I did a good job in that game. So 1-0, not bad. Round 2, I was against Tyranids. I seem to always draw the Tyranids. This one was only 1 Rupture Cannon. Usually I end up with 3 with my Volt and I cry. But this time it was only 1. I basically ignored the Tyrannofexes the whole game. I had him locked. His flaming one was just locked behind terrain, and he only had 1 unit that could kill the warriors, which was 10 blob of King Stealers with the Broodlord. So I just played really cagey with my warriors to start with, and just stepped out with the Feel No Pain guys and my characters that just come back and put my DDAs on the flanks. And I was like, look, you've got to come out eventually, otherwise I'm just going to outscore you. And he did. I deleted his infantry with my Omnitics, like his Hormagaunts and stuff, and then he shot Exocrines and Tyrannofexes into the Omnitics, and I had to roll a 6 up save to keep the Omnitic, the last one, alive out of 2 dice, and I rolled a 6, and then I popped the Resorb and rolled a 6 and a 3, so I got 9 wounds back. So basically, the whole squad came back with popping the Resorb, so I didn't even need to reanimate in my turn. And then they went out and just one-tapped the Gene Stealers and the Broodlord, basically. So, yeah, I played a little too cagey. I could have stepped out a lot earlier with the Warriors just to secure the primary and be like, okay, if you're going to come out with the Gene Stealers, then I'll overwatch you and kill 3 or 4, and I'll do it with the Hex Mark and kill another 1 or 2. And then your unit's not being big enough to kill the Warriors, but I was a little bit too cagey. And that's why I didn't max the primary basically in that game. But it was still a reasonably convincing win. Again, the Warriors were nice. As soon as the Gene Stealers were dead, there was no way he could touch the Warriors. They just stepped out and body blocked everything. And Steros was charging all of his bugs just to stop them from getting anywhere. And he was. I made a mistake in the Eldari game where he had his Autark with the Howling Banshees right up against the wall. So I thought, well, to stop them from charging me and killing my other stuff, I'll just charge him with Seraz. He's on full wounds. I'll kill a few. Then my aura will be 6 inches. It'll be great. I charged him. He fought first and killed Seraz because I didn't make any of my umbles. So that felt really stupid. Didn't need to do that, but yeah, kind of disappointing. And then round 3, I played Legion of Excess. I'm glad it's dead. It's a ridiculous detachment. It's so strong, and I made a mistake in that I was in a really good position. I had a really good turn 1, and my opponent made a couple of mistakes, especially with his positioning. And then I just basically put the entire warrior squad right in front of his army, body blocked everything, burning the center objective, taking his flank. And he was just like, I've got no choice here. I've just got to send everything at you and hope that it works. And he sent the Fiends, And what are you doing, mate? He sent the fiends and charged into the warriors, and he rolled an ungodly amount of death wounds, and they died to the man. And if I just had like one guy left alive, then it's like, oh, reanimate, and pull out of the charge range from everything else, and all of a sudden, by my next turn, I'd have the full squad back. Then I just kill everything, and I win that game, I think. But as it was, he killed the warriors, which was a big shock, and a few other little things managed to connect as well. And then I looked at it and I was just like, yeah, I'm in a bit of a rough spot. I was still massively ahead on the scoreboard, but then my next shooting turn just whiffed horrifically. I killed nothing. I killed literally nothing that turn. Like, I shot 2 DEAs into the fiends and didn't kill any. I charged a 6 wound chariot with 2 Scorpec Lords and 3 Scorpec Destroyers. Both Scorpec Lords did 0 damage on the impact balls because they both rolled a 1. The Scorpec Destroyers whiffed with their... I think they did 2 wounds to put it down to 4. So at that point, I was just like, oh dear. Then he started passing off wounds. So then the Scorpec Lords wouldn't kill... we didn't kill either 2 of them with the flat 3 because he was passing off wounds to some random chaff unit at the back. Even though they didn't really hit wound, I think I got like 1 hit out of 4 with both of them. And I had Assassinate on that turn as well, and I left it alive on 4 wounds, so that was really bad. So obviously I kept it and I killed it the following turn, but I left like 1 fiend alive on a wound. He passed his battle shock. He gained 3. He then sat on my home objective to contest it, so I didn't score any primary, and I lost by 7. So
you gained what?
Gained 3 wounds because when they and like the key secrets, I got down to 4 wounds. I rolled a heroic intervention with my Scorpec Lord behind a wall. Rolled a double 1, so I couldn't even get through the wall. Like just the whole game just went horrifically bad. The Keeper of Secrets went from 4 to 12 in a matter of half a turn, and then I got it back down again. And then he was passing wounds from his character onto his keeper again. But
that must feel a bit rough. Like somebody's opponent's models gaining wounds, like from all the damage you've done.
Yeah, but we're Necrons. That's what we're supposed to do, right?
That must feel really bad.
But I mean, it was a really good game. Like, despite the fact that the dice betrayed me so many times, it was still a really, really close game at the end, and my opponent was great. I also won Best Sporting in that event for the first time ever, which was nice, finally, to get some recognition for being a good sportsman player, and I came fourth.
Definitely bribed your opponents.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm disappointed to lose. It was my first loss to Slanesh as well. Like, I played it quite a few times, and I know how to beat it, and I know you can kind of ignore certain aspects of it, but I just had a bit of a rough time. Things just didn't go my way when they could have done, and he was scratching to get a win at the end, and he managed to do it by 7. But it was basically the primary. I was denying him primary at the start, giving him 5s, and I was scoring my 10s. But then I just turn 5. I went first all 3 times as well, which doesn't help. If I'd gone second in that game, I think I could possibly have won towards the end because I still had assets left. It was just, he still had like Shellaxing and stuff, so he was able to take me off primary. And that one little fiend surviving on a wound, cost me another 5 points, and he killed my character, which was burning as well, because I didn't make any of my invulns. Just with shooting, like he rolled a lot of death wounds. When he can gambit and then reroll all your wounds with death wounds, it's just a little bit too much, especially if you can spike. And I found that the counter charge and heroic threat to stop them from gambiting just wasn't quite enough with that list. Even with the 3 Scorpec Lords, the Scorpec Destroyers, the Flayed ones, even like the Seraz. Like, Seraz got involved with 3 fiends and took 5 combats to kill them.
Yeah, it's because of the 4 wounds each, and he does 3 damage, so and then -1 to be
Well,
hit as well. So it's really awkward.
it turns out he doesn't do any damage, and I was -1 to hit and -1 to wound because the mask was also there.
Oh
Because,
yeah.
because I was trying to kill, and then I tried to kill the mask halfway through, and that failed because they just kept rolling his 4s. And it'd be like, okay, so I'm hitting on 4s. I've got 4 attacks. Right, well, here's the big attacks. Oh, okay, I hit once. Now -1, so okay, I didn't wound. Okay, oh, you made your save. Great. Okay, then here's the little attacks. Okay, I hit twice. Wounded you once. You've taken 1 damage. It was just quite hard. Like I could have made a couple of positional improvements rather than that, but yeah.
No, you don't even need to think about it. It's gone.
Yeah, so I mean, if I played that match again, then I think there's a decent chance I could win.
And you'll never have to.
But yeah, so 4th, 2-1 with
Nice.
someone else's list. Not too bad. I think the list isn't perfect to my standard. I'm not a fan of the Warriors. It's a little bit of a boring playstyle, but I do see the power.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like the way it works. I like the tricks. I find it fun.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of tricks.
That's my style. It's like
I think
tricks and bullshit.
I think against people who don't know how to deal with it can help you score 100 on the primary, especially. I find that if I'm playing somebody like mid-table kind of player where I know I can win this game, it's just sometimes I play a little bit cagey so I don't make a mistake and lose too much early because it's still a dice rolling game. And if they just stick out with 3 Vindicators, they can still, kill the Silent King and DDAs and stuff. So you got to be careful. But I find that I do sometimes not score enough on primary in those games and still do well in secondaries. So the Warriors will definitely help score hundreds, like which we saw you do at Manchester when you submarined UA to 4-1 and 12 spot.
Hoorah!
Hoorah! So I can see that it is, but it is also a lot of points in a big investment, and I'm thinking maybe Command Barge and Royal Warden might be the way to go because you don't have Resorb and the extra OC is going to be really strong. So it might be a case if you take Wraiths and the Warriors, or you take 2 squads of Warriors, maybe.
It's not for singles. That I just can't. There's not a good singles list.
I mean, I still think you win for the same reasons that the Warriors are hard. Like, if you can't kill one Warrior,
Yeah, but you just won't do any damage.
You don't need to do damage.
And Wraiths die like a lot easier, and the second Warrior squad is like not as strong at all compared
so the second Warrior squad will be like Chronomancer and Overlord, and then the first one would be Orican, Royal Warden with the.
I'd probably do it. Royal Warden, Chronomancer, because then you can fall back and fire and fade.
But you could auto advance 6, shoot, and then move another 5 with the Royal Warden. With the Overlord, and then you're pushing Orican 1 forwards because it's the stealth, it's the tankier unit, and then you can fall back, shoot, and get back in there again with the Royal Warden. I mean, either way, you can put the characters however you want, but if they're not killing one unit, they're not killing the second. All you got to do is stand on every objective. They're not scoring primary, and then you just need to have Seraz, the Scorp Lord, and a couple of destroyers running around doing your secondaries, and then hope that if you do get a kill secondary, you've got enough damage, through like a couple of DDAs at the back or the charges from the Scorpec destroyers to take out a character or take out a tank here or there to get the kill secondaries. So, it's probably a bit more boring than a normal game, but it might be worth it. But then, of course, if they can just one-tap the first Warrior squad, then, you're just going to lose that game because half your army's going to die in 2 activations.
I still think it's like a small teams list for me.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the Meta Monday.
Absolutely.
So we are overall back on top, baby. 51% win rate.
Yeah.
Thank you to all the people that are, for some reason, playing Obasient Phalanx and playing 60% win rate.
Yeah, all 3 of you.
Yeah, and
no, one person, right?
One person, yeah. And then we've got a tie almost between Starshatter and Awakened. Everybody's just hopping over back to Awakened.
Yeah.
It's just the best in the meta, in my opinion, at the moment.
Hypercrypt sitting low with 3 players still surprises me because it could still be the strongest attachment, but
I don't like it anymore. I feel
mean,
like the 6-inch deep strikes killed it.
it has made a huge difference. I'm not going to lie.
I feel like it's absolutely killed it.
And the 25-point tax as well, where you have to take the enhancement now.
Yeah, so you're basically playing like now that they've changed it again, like the DDAs, you're 45 points down. Like,
yeah,
and you're already running low.
so
It's tough.
I can see that the Hypercrypt could end up going back to Vol King 2 Catans instead of the 2 DDAs. And then, you've got a little bit of tankiness there as well. You got the melee threat, which we seem to, I think that we need at the moment in the melee, and you've still got the Daka output from the King and the Volt, and then you've still got the scoring because it's still good at scoring. Secondaries, it's a bit harder, obviously with the 6-inch now, meaning it's easier to screen out your backline to stop behind enemy lines and stuff. But you've got enough killing power. And with the indirect, that you can actually punch holes in places where they might not be able to fill for the next turn. So you can plan ahead, and you can do that quite happily. Like you put the Deceiver and the Nightbringer as your 2 Catans, for example. Stick with the hex marks, and it might be strong. Maybe some solo Gauss destroyers as your tank-to-tank shooting, and they can double up for actions as well. So we'll see. I might have a play with that just to see how it goes now.
So yeah, we're doing all right. We're perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Yeah. If you look at our 10-week win rate, it's 10-week win rate is 51%.
Yeah, so we're doing all right. I think
the
change it to the DDA, which is spoiler alert. That's the data slate. The DDA, literally the only thing that happened for us is the DDA went up. And I've seen a lot on Discords. One person said that all of the nerfs that happened to Hypercrypt and Star Shatter should be reversed.
Not all of them.
I don't think that is.
Not all of them.
I think that's asking for a bit too much, personally.
Yeah.
Maybe as we were saying at the beginning, maybe a couple of things could go down, but we can't. We've been doing all right where we are. It was going to happen. DDA's only going up 10 points back to where they were before. Acceptable. I think
the problem I have with that is it's still our only real shooting unit.
But it is worth 200 points. Like, it might be our only one, but it's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
It is good.
It is good.
It is very good.
But
winning T9 on 2s is like pretty good. And it is oppressive to play against. Like when you're playing against Necrons, like I'm still scared of them. Like I will, if that's going to shoot my unit, I have to assume that my unit's going to die.
Yeah, it can spike. I mean, it can do nothing. It can be the perennial.
It could literally do nothing, or it can spike. But that's just the nature of nature of it. But it's like it could just one shot your vehicle.
Yeah. In my game against Slanesh, I don't think my DDAs rolled more than a 2 on the number of shots the whole game. Even with the CP, like, I need CP reroll that. Oh look, there's another one.
I've been playing in a stat check league at the moment. It's like a teams league, and with the Mind Goblin guys. And my pairing for the first round was World Eaters, and he deployed his. I chose a board on WTC because I got to choose the board, and I chose a board. Pardon?
Light board, always.
I chose a medium board, but I chose a light medium board. So. Okay. Because basically I just looked at it and went, right, this these L's are like inverted, so he can't stage anywhere. So he had to deploy his Rhino in the open. So I just put my DDA in the open, like DDA, so I could see it. I was like, if I go first, I'm going to shoot this Rhino and I'm going to kill it. Yeah. And then because the unit inside was like the only unit that I was afraid of. So I shot it first turn. I got 5 on the number of shots, 4 hits, 4 wounds, 4 sixes, 4 sixes to wound, 4 sixes. So fucking, I did 16 dev wounds. Nice. I was like, he wouldn't have gotten a save anyway because it was like he didn't get cover, but it was funny.
It's nice when that happens.
Yeah, it was very funny. I was
But then
like, what are the chances of that?
at the same time, next game you play the exact same scenario. You roll a 1. You go, I really want to kill this rhino. I'll CP reroll that. You roll another 1. You get a 1 and a
Yeah.
3 to hit, and then you get 1 wound, and he takes 4 damage, and he just goes, well,
Yeah, and
good,
he heals it in the next couple of
good
turns.
for you. And then you got, well, I got the second EDA. I wanted to kill the contents with it, but all right, I'll shoot that into the rhino. And then you do exactly the same thing, but this time you don't get CP reroll the hits, and then he regains a wound and just laughs at you, and you think, well, yeah, that was a big investment.
Yeah.
That was a
But
big investment.
where do you think what direction do you think we're going to go, or like how the data slate might affect us compared for the other armies that have, like, what's happened with the other armies? Where do you think
Well,
we're
I still think we're pretty good because we've got some good tools. Eldari have had a bit of a nerf, but historically we've always been pretty good into Eldari anyway. And once if you still stick around with the Silent King, especially the Silent King, because his indirect is nice at picking off and finishing off or neutering the numbers in the unit, then we shouldn't really have problems against Eldari. GSCs can be quite tricky, but I think we're fine into them. And then like Chaos Demons, Bridgehead Guard, they've all been nerfed. So I don't know what armies actually got buffs in the data slate. I heard Imperial Knights got a bit of a buff, and they can be tricky if you play the wrong build. But I still think we've got a nice spot. I don't think it's a disaster. Like the DDAs going up is annoying because the points are already starting to get tight on at least the list that we build. But we'll be okay. It's just like one little trashy unit, or just dropping one destroyer down from a good destroyer to a shit one. But
Yeah, I think Slanesh going is good for us. The Orc detachment, whatever that's tactical, that getting nerfed a bit is good for us. But obviously the new Orc detachment, unsure how good or bad it is, because stealth doesn't really matter because they're just going to be fishing for sixes anyway. And then so it doesn't. But I don't think they kill the warrior unit. But you've got to remember that it's a 100-point looter unit, so it's like it's going to do real damage. And then, well, Bridgehead got nerfed, and that was like quite tough. It was swingy, especially if they went like the hot shot build with like what a unit of hot shot, because that can like that could have just sustained and ignores cover AP. And it just shoots like so many shots and plus onto wound. It would be handing you a lot close to enough saves to kill you. But obviously that's dead now, so that's really good for us. What else is demons? Could I don't know if normal demons getting like the buffs they've got is good or bad for us, because all I'm thinking in my head is like the warrior build, but demons like Scarbrand with advanced charge is pretty good. Like he's got advanced charge in his data sheet now.
yeah, but you can still just stick a 35-point warrior in front of him, a 35-point destroyer in front of him, and he moves 2 inches.
Yeah, it's just being able to do that, right? It's
I
just
know.
like they have an entire other bit of the army, but you
I,
know what I mean. I'm just saying
yeah,
that them as an army has been tricky for us.
yes.
So, like, especially Blood Crushers, Blood Crushers got like kind of nerfed a little bit because they got a 3 up armor, but then they're in 4 up invuln got turned into a 5 up invuln, and I don't know about you, but I'd rather have a 4 up invuln.
I would rather as well, to be fair.
So,
Because the stuff you're shooting into Blood Crushers is usually a pretty big gun.
high damage. If it's a
I mean,
DDA, now they're
yeah,
taking on a 5 instead of a
yeah,
4.
and yeah, like the fast pressure melee armies that are also tough, like the Khorne ones, have always been tricky. At least for the list that I've played, they're not unwinnable,
Chaos
obviously.
Knights didn't get
But
touched, and that's going to be tough for us. It's always tough,
no,
especially in Awakened.
I think we're fine into Chaos Knights, mate. Honestly,
I do not. I do not think we're fine into
why?
Chaos Knights
I think
because
we're
it's hard
outmatched.
matchup. Because it's like
It's
13 War Dogs running at us, and we
it's
don't
not the
can't kill.
easiest, but your Doomsday Arcs can take out one a turn between them.
Maybe
On average, they should take out one a turn between them. And
between
then,
them.
yeah, exactly. And then thing is, you've got the Scorpec destroyers, and they can kill them in melee because they don't have an invul in melee.
It's not enough.
And,
It's just
and Andy Mitten, remember, they don't have an invul in melee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Andy Mitten.
Yeah,
Why Andy Mitten?
Because he was doing that at the local RTT.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, our team captain or former team captain was playing him in round 3 for the win, I think, and he was just like an autopilot rolling 5 up invuls in melee.
Oh no!
I mean,
It was his first time out with it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like it was still a big win for him. I don't think it would have made any difference anyway. But
yeah, Host of Ascension getting the bin, mate. By the way, it's been nerfed, not to the ground, but enough.
I think we're still in good position.
Yeah, because the new Custodians attachment, don't know how good that is for us or not. I think it's cool.
The thing we've got to remember is we didn't take many changes, so a lot of the prep work and a lot of the list building that we've been doing haven't been affected. It's just now the micro changes based on what we expect the meta to change to. But
it's just shuffling the lists around.
We've always been a decent army into most things. Like we can build lists they're not amazing into everything, but they're good into most things, and then okay into other things. So the bad matchups aren't that bad. But rather than having like really good matchups, but really bad matchups like some other armies do.
And something funny that somebody pointed out in the England Discord is that Grey Knights, Purgation's lost, or Grey Knight Warpbane, they lost their ability to re-roll the hits from Warpbane if they can't see.
Yeah.
But that also applies to fighting through a wall because they can't see them, so they lose their re-rolls.
Good.
So really, really dumb, but it's just so funny. I just like somebody pointed out, I was like, I can't believe that. But
I mean, that's got to be just a wording thing, and how
it's because they just said that you need line of sight, but they should say ranged attacks that don't have line of sight.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll fix that because
they will.
I mean, it's still quite nice though, not to have to worry about.
Thousand Suns chilling at 37% win rate. That's hilarious.
And I lost to them.
We both lost to them, mate.
Well, yeah.
You technically didn't lose, but I did lose. So.
Yeah. Only by a point though, so that's just like that point could literally be.
It was a 6-up.
Yeah.
It was a 6-up. It was a 6-up dice roll on 2 dice.
Did sisters get any buffs? Because I
yes, they very, very slightly. Some of their stuff came down in points, and then they also get a miracle die as soon as their unit dies, not at the end of the phase.
Right. Okay.
But I think they're just repairing them brick by brick.
Yeah, if they buff them too quickly, then we might have another spring of sisters where sisters.
They're literally on the edge of being too good.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking orcs, man. God damn.
Yeah, don't talk to me about orcs, thank you.
Going to be problems.
Yeah.
But yep, I think for the meta for us, it's looking good. You can still pretty much run anything, but I think, in my personal opinion, I think Canoptic Court is a trap. And that might sound like a hot take, but I think it's a trap. I think it just doesn't fucking do anything that I want it to do. It's got a reactive move that people can play around that are just even slightly skillful.
Yeah.
It does almost no damage.
I mean,
and the wraiths are just fucking. The wraiths, like, you just touch a wraith with a tank and it's like, yeah.
When the reactive move comes into contact with wraiths, sometimes it can be detrimental because they stay outside 9, which means that when the wraiths move, they can't do the mortal because they can't get an inch and get out again. So
it's like a double win if you just stay outside of 9.
Exactly. So sometimes
and wraiths just, as I said, wraiths just heal too slow. Wraiths heal far too slowly for the rate of damage that can happen in the game. They're just so slow to bring back. If you lose a lot of them in one go, and there is a lot of armies that can kill wraiths in one go because it's like 2 down. If you play against World Eaters, they don't have that much that can kill the 20 warriors. Like they do in places, but then against wraiths, they can just send 6 exalted 8-bound or Angron into them, and they'll probably die.
And even if they don't die, they don't do enough damage on the crackback.
Yeah.
That the following attack actually stop.
And then they're stuck in combat. And then also, if you play against Vessels of Wrath with wraiths, they tag with the exalted 8-bound, and then if you try and fall back, they either go, no, you're not allowed to fall back, or then they use a stratagem which then means that you have to take a desperate escape on a 1, 2, or 3. You die,
Oof.
so you'll lose half the unit,
Yeah,
just from falling back.
yeah.
It's fucking bonkers. So that is a terrible matchup. So yeah, it's just, and then against like Eldar as well, Wraiths. Like I know that Thingy's just been nerfed, but the anti-infantry 5 up now, it could still be brutal, and then like Dark Reapers will kill them. Even a squad of 5
Fire dragon.
5 fire dragons will do a number.
They'll do some damage, but they've only got 1 attack each, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I lost
well, they've
a
got
full
4
squad to
pinball.
10, so it's like
They've got a 4 pinball, so you've got 5 attacks. They'll probably miss with 1, maybe if you're lucky, and then so 2 go through. But I
but then
mean,
they can flip a dice to a 6, so it's
yeah,
like
it's the melter damage. That's
yeah, they'll do work
the
for sure.
damage from each attack will be so much that the feel of pain is irrelevant. So then it's just 4 pinballs at that point. Yeah. Well,
But
we'll see how it goes
yeah,
going forward.
but all right, we can probably talk about the upcoming tournament that we're both
Yeah.
going to this weekend.
Yeah.
So,
So,
what are you taking?
well, I am taking Hypercrypt to Battlefield Birmingham. Thank you.
Having another go, redo.
I kind of wanted to
I'm
take.
desperate for the toilet, so I'm just going to let you talk, and then I'll
Okay,
come back.
sure. Well, I wanted to take the Awaken list, but I haven't had enough practice with it to take it to a GT where I felt comfortable with enough matchups because in a small tournament when I know a lot of the players going there, I'm not playing a list to try and beat those players specifically, but I can look at it and go, you know what, I feel comfortable in a lot of those matchups, so I'm happy taking this list to try it. But at a GT, when there's so many good other players going, and I'm still going there to try and, do really well, maybe get 4-0 and try and play for the win in the last round, that I will just take Hypercrypt. And it did well in Manchester. Had some tough rounds, some really tough matchups in there, so I'm going to be taking it then. And it's the same list as well. I'm still going to try Praetorians. I'm hoping that I'll get good matchups this time, and they'll do some really good things. And next time we'll come on, and I'll be like, yeah, Praetorians are amazing, guys. Everyone should be taking them. But I mean, it's probably not going to happen. I'll probably throw them in the bin afterwards. So that's it. My hope was that I could maybe change my list, but it's too late. The tournaments didn't line up nicely enough that I could try the Awakened and then take it as well. So yeah, that's my list. I know Matt's taking the same Awakened list as well. He doesn't want to change it, which is good. He'll have to change it now, obviously, with the data slate. So, well, he says he's dropping a destroyer, but I think that's the wrong move. I think, but we'll see how he does with that one. As far as matchups go, my first round is against Orcs. Tactical, I think it is. No, it's not. It's Bully Boys. So, yeah, I'm
I have
looking forward to
returned.
that. Yeah, I basically explained that you were taking the same list. You hadn't changed it.
Yep, that's
You're
exactly
going to
right.
have to change it now afterwards, but
I'm taking a single destroyer out, boys.
no, you want to
Might
keep
take the
that
hex mark
destroyer.
out.
No, you take the hex mark out, I think, and then you replace it with something else. So you got the same amount of units.
So a heavy destroyer.
Yeah, I think so. That's probably because it gives you an extra
Yeah,
shooting activation.
yeah, that's probably right.
And then
Do
I
that.
was just gonna go through the fact that I'm playing against Bully Boys
Oh
round
yeah, I
one.
saw that.
I'm playing against Orcs. I think he's
How are you
taking
feeling?
13 Mega Nobs, but I'm on the Vault, so I can pressure them early, make him go war turn one. Basically, um,
Yeah,
he's probably gonna have all of his knobs in trucks and his no, the knobs in the battle wagon and the Mega Nobs in the trucks, but they don't do damage to me. That's the thing. So I'm not really
yeah.
worried.
This terrain layout as well. It's search and destroy. It
It's
is
not search and
quite.
destroy. Oh,
Yeah, it is. It is quite open as well.
there you see. This is me thinking it was UKTC. So I was thinking, oh god, it's sweeping engagement. Why am I playing orcs on sweeping engagement?
No, it's search and
I
destroy,
hate
burden
that.
of trust.
Oh, burden of trust, really? Why are they doing this
Round one.
shit
This is
mission, though?
round one.
Yeah,
This
but
is
it's
round
shit, and I'm
one.
playing against orcs. He's going to stand on there and be like, right, great. Let me try and
Yeah,
score it.
well, what I was trying to say is that this deployment is like what's the word? Suspiciously, no, I can't
Yeah,
be. But
no,
it's open.
it's
It's
just
very open.
good, good.
It's I can't think of the word. It's going to bother me now. But
Yeah.
yes, it is open. It is like way more open than you'd think it is. I played against GSC on that board last time, and actually cannot. I will not lie. He could not deploy his army hidden
Yeah.
at all, and I killed 1,000 points of his army in this first turn. I
Why?
went first.
Why don't you put the terrain on?
The map
Actually,
on the board because then
yeah.
I can find the whole.
I will. There you go. I've sent you a link in WhatsApp.
Oh my god, you're on point for
I
once. That's
I
great.
am I am incredibly. I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, yeah, that could be quite open. There's still loads of places to hide a truck, but if I can kill the battle wagon in the trucks turn one, and then without activating the vault, then that would be amazing because then I can just use the vault to kill so many guys. I mean, that's the game plan, right? Make him force him to use his war turn one, but not be able to charge me because I will stay outside of his threat range.
So this
Maybe,
is the first map.
yeah,
Let me grab it up. Big
yeah.
head Andy. This is the first map. So this is
Really,
how it was last time, right? So where you see the top objective, you can't see my cursor for whatever reason, but the top objective on the right hand side, he had like stuff lined up there, and this is search and destroy. Remember, so like if you go into the building in the middle, you can literally just drive up and see in. Like I had DDAs like poking out uh, the vault at the bottom, and
yeah,
then the Silent King in the middle, like right next to the vault. So then I just moved the vault over to the side, and I could just see like everything.
nice,
Because like the where you can imagine the halfway line, the vault just fits in there perfectly, and you can just
awesome.
move it over to the side, right, and touch that piece of terrain and see through it.
Mm. And
So
like,
then you just see in all into his deployment zone. There's literally no hiding.
yeah,
You just see completely into his deployment zone, and then I just like shot a DDA into his deployment zone, and then the other one into his deployment zone, and he literally just
yeah.
couldn't play. You'll be
So,
able to do exactly the same thing.
so Gazgul realistically is the only thing that threatens the vault on the charge turn one.
Yeah.
I don't think the massive boy attacks will be enough to kill it. And then obviously I'll have the spider nearby. And then hopefully this is a match where the Praetorians can do well, where they can go and mop up
Oh,
half
yeah, he's
man
still running that.
units. Yeah, so I'm trying them again. As I was saying before, they didn't have good matchups in Manchester. Every single matchup was kind of bad for them, so they didn't really shine. I just used them as expensive upgrades to death marks for actions, and that worked out really nicely still because they were a lot more resilient post action or during action to not die. And screening out, they didn't just automatically die when they got looked at. So, but I'm hoping that offensively they will have some better matchups this weekend.
Mm-hmm. So we'll quickly
Yeah,
run through the. So I'll talk about what I'm playing.
yeah.
I'm playing against World Eaters, but it's Vessels of Wrath, which is the new one. But he's running Angron, which usually Vessels of Wrath don't do. And then he's also just running 2 squads of Exalted 8-bound of 6 mans, and that's it. That's basically his list.
That's just EDA fodder, isn't it? Basically,
Yeah, and like I'll just deploy. Like he can't kill the warriors. Basically, I just know he can't.
is he not
I,
running any jackals or berserks? The ones
he's
with like,
running jackals, but he's running 2 5-man berserks.
right, okay.
So he just can't kill them. Like he can't.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, you'll be fine
so
that
yeah,
matchup.
so I basically just string out to here. Oh, you can see it now.
Yeah.
String out to there. String out to there. And then I'll just hold both of these, and then just to keep attacking this with Scorpeths.
I mean, could you see where the number 4 is? Could you not use that as the character location? Protect it with the
Yeah,
ghost dart. No, so you put your characters in the L.
yeah.
You protect the L from with a ghost dart across the gap, so he can't get line of sight with his characters, and then you just string out the warriors to the center and into your
Yeah,
flanking.
well, I can do it there or there. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, either or.
Or
It's going to go all the way out,
just go into the L near the center,
and then
right?
basically I'll go to the center if you can see it on the screen. I'll go to the center and then the top, and then what I'll start doing is if he attacks me, I'll pull once I've got another unit at the top and it's locked down. I'll pull all the warriors from the top and just start bringing them this way, and then start hitting that.
Yeah.
So that's why I want the characters here because I need them more central because then I
Yeah.
can move them out rather than back there.
That's fine.
So yeah, so we go round. This is tipping point, so it's obviously like like that. But look how like this is not as open. But
where am I putting a Tesseract vault there? That's gonna have to go in the center, right, and hang over that box.
you can hang over the edge anyway. So
Okay, yeah.
on this, I'm pretty sure.
Not WTC, so
I was overhanging last time, and he said it was fine.
Well, I seem to remember.
Yeah.
Didn't Dave Lenowski do well last year at Battlefield Birmingham?
He's never been.
What was I thinking of then? I'm sure it was.
I went to Battlefield Birmingham like with a vault. I came
maybe
third.
it was just Glass Hammer GT then in Birmingham.
Yeah, it was definitely the Glass Hammer GT.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
But you can't overhang Glass Hammer because it's WTC. So
he was overhanging though in that one.
You shouldn't have been. It's naughty.
Well, he did a few naughty things on stream against.
But so yeah, there's a line of sight down here.
Yeah, that's a big line of sight.
Yeah, which is like right into the home. This terrain is not good. Like it's good for shooting armies. It's like as a melee army. How are you meant to stage with on this?
Well, you've still got the little L near the center.
No, because you got this one L.
Yeah,
and that's it. And you can't fit a big unit in there. And as soon as something comes up here, it can see it. Like these are not long.
Poor melee armies. How
like you'll get there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
Like there's nowhere to hide.
But this is their own terrain layouts, right?
Yeah. I've played many times. I've not played Tipping Point before. This is new.
Yeah.
But Dawn of War. This is the map that I played. So the guy I'm playing. The funny thing is the guy I'm playing first round is the guy I played first round at the last one. Like, what are the chances of that?
1 in 95.
Like crazy. Yeah. Like, well, double. What? No, because it's like 1 in. I played at 1 out of 95 then, and then I played it again.
No, you don't.
Is it just the same?
Just 1 out of 95. You don't care what you play.
But still, yeah. I mean, twice in a row. Something must be different if it's twice in a row. But anyway, yeah, crazy that I'm playing the same game.
Well, however many players there are, I think it's 95, but there might be less.
Yes, no, it's probably less. I think it's like 80 something. But it's crazy anyway how I'm playing him. But this is the map I played on him last time, and I just had like the vault here, like hanging off as best as it could, and he was so scared of like going into me and bouncing, even though he's playing World Eaters again. That he just like deployed back there, and I just had flayed ones here that fucking survived an Invocata's charge, and they just pushed him into his.
His zone, yeah.
That's happened a lot of times. Crucible. So this is open as shit as well. Like, look at this firing line. I played Space Wolves on this last time. Chris, if I knew what Chris's army did, like better than I did at the time, then I would have won that game. But like, you just move a DDA here, and it can see on all 3 objectives. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
I'll have to remember that. But this is on Crucible, though, right?
So it's diagonal. So you just deploy here and then just move there. I literally played it, and then I had the vault here, and you just touch into this piece of terrain. You can just see through it, or like touch into here. I had it like here, so I just touched into both. I could just see through both. It's crazy.
You're making me wish I was taking 2 volts now.
Yeah, mate, it's so funny. This terrain is so wild. Like, it looks really hidden because it's sort of. You're like, you hide there, but then you just put a gun at the top. It's like, yep, I'm just going to see everyone here.
Well, this is where load ups become really good as well, because then you just stick a load up.
You can hold your home fine. I remember the game perfectly against Chris as well. He had like a Rhino there. He had Wolfen that came out here and tagged my vault with like a fucking first turn advance and charge 6-inch paneling consolidate. I put like the flayed ones 1 inch too far forward. That's like how little of a mistake I made that cascaded. Yeah, it was a fun game. And then sweeping, I played Rob Pate on this last time with his Imperial Knights.
Is this round 6?
No, this is round 5.
I must have miscounted. Oh, well. Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing Dawn of War and sweeping. And yeah, this is also incredibly open, but also not as open. Like, it's open if you stand here, but it does overlap a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's actually all right, but it is open in the middle. Like, if somebody stands there, they have to like have a unit that's tucked in behind the wall here, or one that's just that durable.
Yeah.
But again, this is one with the warriors where I'd probably just put the warriors there and then just go like a 1, 2, and then just like start to make my way over here.
Yeah.
Or like I do 1, 2, and then this is my safe one. So I probably like attack these.
Yeah, you want to make your opponent have to
come to you.
Yeah, go through a lot of hoops to get to your safe objective, and then offer them the warriors, which is not something they ever want to engage unless they can do it. But I mean, there's some really good players at this event. So, are there any lists that you're actually
afraid of?
Yeah,
Manny's 13 dogs.
13 war dogs. Well,
I can't fucking kill that. I can't kill that. And then if I lose one warrior, I have to battle shock at fucking -1.
Yeah, that's gonna. Well, you're still leadership 7s.
Yes, but if I fail, I lose 4d3 plus 2 reses a turn. So
you can still activate the
ghost arc, yeah, but I can't activate my strat once in the fight phase, once in the shooting phase.
Like so,
and I lose all my OC, so I can't steal points off him.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Battlefield Birmingham is a solo tournament, but you also like join together with 3 friends and play like a pseudo team event where you take the best 3 scores of your 4 players and they go towards your team score for each round. Obviously, Matt, I don't know if anyone knows, Matt has betrayed the channel and gone to other players. So
apparently I betrayed everyone.
Yes, you betrayed everyone.
I betrayed the channel.
You betrayed me on my birthday.
I said I'd come for the meal.
So my team, we've got a pretty rough round 1 because Reese on Imperial Knights is playing Manny's Chaos Knights, which is it's a weird matchup. It's a tough one, but I'm hoping that Reese will be able to win that one because he's the Knights Master. And then Andy, who's on his Gene Stealers, who's on my team, he's playing against Naz, I think, on his guard. It's just going to be rough.
That's a really hard matchup for him because Nas is running 2 blobs of 20 fucking Kriegsmen.
Yeah.
And Nas does not have the ability to kill that. And then
if he
does kill it,
Andy doesn't kill it.
Sorry, Andy doesn't. And then even if he does kill it, he'll just pay CP and bring it back.
Because he's playing combined. He's playing the index.
He's playing it. The index is really, really good.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that Andy can actually pressure him enough to get through it. Like, he's bringing the 2 Tauroxes, the Kazakin bomb, and the engineers to do like the mortal wounds. But Andy's like, well, I don't care about that. I'll just bring back all the things you kill, and then I'll delete those units. And you haven't killed anything important. You've just used up a couple of my, whatever points they're called, that they get to bring back. So,
have you ever watched Nas play?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I have to
watching him in his practice games. It's just like
I have to have some faith in my friends.
I have faith in Andy too.
He's going to get smashed because
I don't think he is going
to
get smashed. I think he's going to. I think he needs to be confident.
Yeah, he's going to get smashed.
But Nas said in our chat, he said, "I don't care if it's John Lennon on GSC." So that's the mindset that Nas has going into the game.
He's going to get smashed, but I'm sure Andy will give it a good go, and he'll be
Andy's going to get very drunk, and I'll probably join him. So.
Yeah, and I'm joining him too because he might be driving, so he might not be able to get too drunk.
What?
Well, it's my turn to drink, so.
Yeah,
you're not allowed to drink too much.
I am going to be drinking, mate.
Anyway.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, folks, is I'm going to be drinking. So how much I'm going to be drinking, I don't know. But it's not going to be as much as it was at the ICT. So
Absolutely.
it'll be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the maps. The missions are pretty bog standard ones, and I'm pretty glad that Burden of Trust is round 1, and Purge is like round 4. So
Well, Page is not bad for us, especially with your warrior
It's all,
form.
it depends what I'm against, because like
Yeah,
the characters do want to die, and then
they
if they
do.
die, it's like 4 points. So,
It's
and I bring
yeah,
it back, and then if they can kill it again, then it's
yeah.
2 kills in a turn. It's
But
crazy.
the characters are also pretty resilient to the point where the opponent just looks at them and goes, "Ah, you know what? I'm not even going to bother to try and kill them." And so at that point, the characters can also survive because they look at it. You know, how many people looked at my list when I was playing at the RTT and just went, "Oh my god, I don't want to kill any of that. Like, I want to kill your stuff, but I just
You
don't want to.
can't.
I just not going to bother because it's pointless. You know, you're just gonna make it. You know, get back up, and now I've wasted my time. I'm just like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
That's how it feels.
Here's Sarah's. Okay, do you want to kill him? I mean, yeah, my turn two charge into the Howling Banshees was not a very impressive move because I failed my invulns and he just died, and I feel like he shouldn't have done. But I could have just left him in the open and then used him to heroic into the Banshees, um, and then he gets back up, and then I get to shoot them. But as it was, yeah, it was a bit of a rookie move. I mean, he did try and countercharge me. He came back on 5 wounds. He stepped out, charged me. I overwatched with whatever it was, the Warriors, I think it was, and killed 4 guys, 3 guys. So he never killed Sarah's. He survived till the end of the game, but it
Love it
was
when it happens.
yeah, it just kept going down to like 1 or 2 wounds, and then
And
reanimated
then
2 or 3,
Resino.
and then he was like, oh, and every single time he's running out of more and more things to try and shoot Sarah's. So yeah, it
It is
was,
beautiful. I think we've got a very good game.
and
So, is there any list that you're looking at that you're worried about
well, it's not so much lists; it's more the names. Like when it's a
attached to the list?
really good list and a really good player, it's going to be a tough game no matter what. And you're kind of thinking, well, if I'm going to play them, well, let's just make sure it's round 5 rather than round 1 or 2. I'd rather go in with the dream that I can still win the tournament if I get through this really tough game. But yeah, there's a few players that I'm not looking forward to playing. There's also a lot of Necrons in this
Yeah, there's
tournament,
9.
and doesn't matter how good of a player you are, the mirror is just always volatile in any army because you've got the same kind of data sheets and profiles. And if one person pops off, especially when it's DDA on DDA, because if your opponent just has 2 DDAs and you've got 2, and he just kills your DDAs in one activation, and you're like, well, now I'm not going to kill your DDAs, and they're just going to run riot. So it doesn't matter who you're playing if they just roll hot on the dice early on. It could be a really tough matchup. So I'm not looking forward to playing a very volatile mirror matchup, especially with my list being um, kind of organized around a few specific pieces. If I lose those pieces to kind of nonsense early, then the games can get a bit tougher than they probably should be. So let's try and keep away from them. And obviously, with this being pre-data slate, Eldari is just annoying as hell. And my friend is on Tyranids, and I just don't want to play against him because he's got 3 Terran effects and the
Who's
Nor
that?
Alex.
Is he
Yeah,
from Stonehammer?
he is from Stonehammer. We've played a few times. We haven't played for a while, but we've played a few times. It's never worked out well for him in the end, and I'm always of that kind of fear that okay, I'll meet him in a tournament, and then this will be the time that he wins. So, and I hate playing against Tyranids, so
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep away from them. Luckily, there's not too many Tyranid players, but
Nice. Well,
what's
is that everything for this episode?
yeah, I think so.
I
We
think so.
just
Nice.
I probably should explain my name. Everyone's thinking, why am I Picasso? It's because I've been doing a lot of painting in the last couple of days. Mostly because I didn't have half of your army painted, so I had to paint all that up. The Warriors, the Ghost Guard, Scorpet Lord, Orican, like the list continues. And then I thought, well, because I'm going to be doing this bloody Annihilation Legion RTT
Mm-hmm.
in a couple of weeks' time, I figured I'd try and paint up some of the destroyers that I might end up taking. Obviously, we haven't written the list yet, so I have no idea what I'll be taking. I just
we will be doing that.
I need to get a head start on this because there's so many models that I've got half painted that I just need to finish and get done.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've got like Orokin and my Ghost Arc half painted.
Yeah. So my half painted is quarter painted because my finished painted is still only half painted because I'm not the best artist and they're not even finished yet. But they're well above battle ready standard. It's just I just want to play rather than paint. So forcing myself to do it by writing a list with new units that I have to take to a tournament is the best way of me getting his painting. Part of me thinks I should just take it unpainted and just take the 10-point hit, and then if I lose, I can blame it on that. But no, I'm going to need every single point I can in this.
Well, we'll see who get places higher at Battlefield Birmingham. I'll make sure I take an early loss, and then I can submarine. Submarine King. You can go all the way to round 5, and I'll be sat there chilling. Already lost a game. Scored 99 though in my loss, and I'll be fucking.
It's just like you're there. I want to lose this game, but I only want to lose it by a point. You can have 100 out of 99. Thank you. Let's move on.
It's like, let's get a drink.
If you do that, I'm calling the judges on you. I don't care if you're my friend.
Yeah, sure. Do what you want. Yeah. Snake, fucking snake.
Yeah. There's competition at stake now.
That's it.
You've stolen my.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back after the tournament when we find out who placed higher and who placed lower, and then we'll see what the scoreboard looks like again.
Well, I mean, this time I'm going to be highly intoxicated on Saturday night. I'm probably
so am I. Ain't never going to stop me. I'm going to be pissed round 1. I'm going to be drinking straight as soon as I get in the room. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Subscribe, like, comment, share, do all that cool stuff that people tell you to do, and I'm telling you to do it now, and you will listen to me. So thank you. I'll catch you guys later.
Bye. Cheers. Bye.